curtain down. There was only those two that could rid the world of the USSR. And they did. And, you know, they will go down in the annals of history as, you know, the best two world powers. And even, you know, even in the 80s, we were a world power. We're not anymore. You know, we're a tiny little island, you know, sort of between, you know, America and Europe. And that's all we are really these days. Yes, okay, the Queen is the head of the Commonwealth and she's got 16 Commonwealth realms and stuff like that. But whoopee-doo, yes, the sun still never sets on the Commonwealth, but it's nothing to what it was.
Well, that's certainly true.
And it's...
Daniel,
yes.
Ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Do you realize that our president wants to give the Falklands back to the islands?
Yes, I do.
He's an anti-colonist. He doesn't realize that there's people, even his brother says, I wish we had the white people over here a little longer.
Well, you know, it's okay. It's okay. You know, the Falklands, the people of the Falklands want to stay British. If they didn't want to stay British, we'd hand them back to Argentina. But in our country and our democracy, it's what the people want, and that's what democracy is all about.
Well, let's move now to President Obama. Last week, Jamie told us how the Canadians felt toward Obama. Could you tell us again tonight, because we probably have more listeners or different listeners tonight, Jamie? What is the general consensus of the people of Canada toward Barack Obama?
Well, let's just say it's not good. I don't think I can think of a really nice word to say about him. I really thought that, you know, and as well as other people thought that he would do some good when he first came in, and we have not seen anything. I mean, it's harder for us to come across the border to see our friends in the United States. Everything, you know, it's totally unreal. And I mean, to me, it's just cut and dry. If you're talking about Reagan and Obama, I mean, Reagan, he was the leadership. He was the man. He was for the people, where Obama is not. Obama's there for himself.
Well, Daniel, you said something too last week about how the Brits feel toward Obama. Could you remind us of that again?
Well, I mean, my thing about Obama is the way he sent the Churchill statue back to us. It was a kick in the face, really, and we were absolutely and totally insulted. Well, people that knew about it and people that I spoke to about it felt absolutely insulted. And you know, are we really an ally of America if if America's president could do that? It was a gift.
Well, you know.
Oh, by the way, Bill, you've got the FBI listening.
All right.
Well, we're glad to have the FBI listening. We're not talking about anything that is subversive. I'm law-abiding, and everyone that's talking here is.
You've got to say that, don't you, Steve?
Well,
don't be paranoid. The FBI is listening because they want to be recruited. They're listening because they understand that they need a new president.
Well, in fact, we'd be glad for them to email us or call in. It's difficult for people to call in.
I mean, if you want to email us, it's dead simple. studio@northstar-radio.co.uk.
Yeah,
and that goes for anyone.
If you want to do a search and seizure at my house, send a warrant there to North Star, and I'm sure that Daniel will get it to me.
I'll
be served.
All joking aside, we are having problems with calling in tonight. And so, folks, if you're listening and you have a question or a comment, by all means, send us an email to studio@northstar-radio.co.uk.
I'll be served.
Okay. Because we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to know what your comments or questions are. We're not going to get into name calling or screaming or yelling. We're not going to become profane or vulgar. But the matters that we're talking about are very important, and they're not just important to the United States, they're important all over the world. We here in the United States, and I know we're not talking only to people that are listening in the United States. There are people literally all over the world that are listening. But the thing that I want to encourage everyone to know is that if the United States falls, and we are close to that cliff, if the United States falls, the horrific impact that will have, not just here in our country, but all over the world, will be felt for decades.
Western world and NATO world will be devastating.
Yes, yes. So this is not a matter that I take lightly.
Well, people in Europe don't realize how much America props up Europe in firepower.
You're right. You're absolutely correct. And so it's important that we discuss these matters. And by the way, the clips that we played for you are all public. Nothing is tucked away or hidden or secretly recorded. Everything that we're playing for you is public. It is everything that we've played up to this point has all been on television, on the national networks and on the national news here in the States and beyond. So it's not like we're hiding anything or that we're presenting anything that was tucked away and forgotten about or spoken about in dark rooms. All of this was spoken out in the open.
Hey, do you think, Steve, if I carry on playing this stuff, it'll get me a green card easier?
Well, I don't know about that.
Daniel, if you need to come over, there's so many illegals that are coming through our southern borders, through Arizona, through Texas. I tell you what, just fly over, meet me at my house. I'll put you in my basement. Don't worry about it. The FBI are my friends, and they will cover your butt.
Cool beans.
and he is joking, brother. Of course. We would not encourage
only 12 hours away from Texas in Georgia.
We would not encourage anyone to break the law or to do anything against the law. That's the point.
What's that? Straight down the I-95, I think, isn't it?
No, we're I-20.
Oh, the I-20 to the I-35.
Here's the thing, folks. We're talking about preserving a Constitution here in the United States that has served us well for well over 200 years. And here of late, it seems that Constitution has been wadded up and cast in the rubbish bin. And
at least at minimum set aside.
It has certainly been set aside. We're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to shift gears and talk about something else. We are so glad that you're here listening. Constitution with us tonight, has been wadded up. Loving, caring, and sharing, and we want to encourage you to stick with us. We're going to be here until 10 o'clock Central Time. Boy, someone just asked me, are you okay? I'm not okay. I'm great, folks. I am fine as frog's hair split three ways. It's kind of funny. We just got a call, Daniel. A caller has just called in. I don't recognize the location. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Who's calling?
This is Mark. I'm at the Obama Asylum, Southeastern Pennsylvania chapter, and calling in. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, yeah, that's right. This is a first-time call for you because normally you're sitting in the chair I'm sitting in.
Normal.
Yeah, and bearing in mind this is the Steve DeLoach's Loving, Caring, and Sharing. Mark, how are you?
Yeah, well, I'm doing a lot better. I think the doctors seem to think that there's a good chance I'll get out of here someday. I'm not sure when, probably after the election. But, feeling pretty good. They give me a nice pink room, and I didn't realize how much I like pink. It's really pretty, and
there's a lot of noise in the background. What is that?
It's the community room where all the patients meet, and they hang out, watch TV, play ping pong, and they just talk and eat popcorn, and things like that kind of stuff.
Have you gotten a chance to talk to Nancy Pelosi yet?
No, Nancy's been busy. She doesn't have time for me. She doesn't return my calls. There's not much she has to say to me anyway. I don't think she likes the things I said to her last time, so I'm not expecting to hear from her anytime soon. So, but you guys really got a great show going tonight, and I really enjoy listening to it.
So you're able to listen to the show there at the asylum?
Yeah, they got one of those North Star radio boxes. You know, it only plays North Star radio 24/7. There's nothing else on. It's all we listen to here.
Well, I'm certain that while you've been listening to the show, it's made you feel better, right?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty bad. Just sort of, you know. I think that Dr. Joe, he's made sure that I'm comfortable in my new jacket, and you know, he comes and checks in on me every couple minutes, and you know.
Oh, you've got a new jacket?
Yeah, I got a nice new jacket. It's white.
So where are your arms? Are they behind your back or in front of you?
They're a little numb right now, but I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I think everything's working out. I'm just looking forward to this election getting over, and you know, maybe I don't know, maybe this country will be normal. It's a little disturbed. I think that's why I had to go away for a while. That's why Steve dropped me off. I was watching what was going on in the news, and people saying they're going to assassinate Romney if he becomes a president. And I thought, you know, what's happened to my country? Who are these people? What's going on? And I don't know that
Mark, what do you think's going to happen to you if Obama wins again?
I think I'll be getting an extended stay, and I'll probably not be hosting Loving, Caring, Sharing ever again.
Well, here's the good news. With this new jacket you've got, at least you're able to give yourself a hug 24/7.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. And you were the guy that introduced me to my new jacket, and it's pretty comfortable, I gotta say. I like it's comfortable, you know. I got a scratch I can't itch, but that's pretty good, though.
Well, let me tell you. I think on November the 6th, you're going to be able to take your jacket off.
Oh, I hope you're right, but then again, I kind of like it here. I gotta admit, the food's pretty good. You know, I get
what do they serve you?
We get peas for breakfast, and we get mush for lunch, and then for dinner we get peas and mush together, and it's pretty good, you know. And
that sounds better than I eat.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's cold, but it's nice, stable diet. You know, I'm enjoying it. And,
so maybe Bill can send you some ramen noodles.
What? Who?
Maybe Bill can send you some ramen noodles.
I'll have to ask Dr. Joe about that. I don't know if that's on the menu. I have to run everything by Dr. Joe. He tells me what I can eat and what I can't eat. But it's pretty nice, you know. I mean, I like the people here, and I feel more relaxed and stuff. But I'm glad that the show's going on, and you guys are doing a pretty nice job. It sounds like you're having fun, anyway.
Well, we are having fun. We miss you though, Mark. We want you back.
I appreciate that. I'm pretty, excited about. What is today, anyway? Just July 17th?
No, today is Friday, October the 26th.
Well, you speak for yourself. It's Saturday, October the 27th, actually.
Well, that's right. But where he's at, it is Friday, October the 26th.
Ah.
Oh.
You asked Bill. It's Zulu.
Oh, okay. All right. And, yeah, so, just... sorry about all the noise. Everybody's really chatty tonight.
Well, do you have any words of wisdom for us, Mark?
Yeah, I do. It's just no matter how bad things get, and no matter how depressed you are, or sad, or frustrated, just remember, at least you're not me.
Well,
Mark, do you need to go to your room?
I think I need to go to my room for a while now.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's been nice. I like hearing what you say. You guys, Daniel and Steve, Dave and Bill, you guys are doing a nice job here tonight. And it's always...
Well, don't forget Jamie.
It's always my favorite thing to hear Jamie. She's so wonderful.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah, Bill.
you need me to break you out,
Yeah, I think so.
let me know.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, a file on a
Bring you
cake.
down here to Georgia.
So maybe a file on a cake or something. I don't know, maybe. So anyway, carry on. I really like the topics. They're really entertaining me. It's interesting stuff. And don't forget to vote. Don't forget to vote.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, Mark, I hope things continue to go well for you.
Yeah.
We've missed you.
Thanks,
We want you to get well. And I think November the 6th, you'll be well.
No.
You know, I absolutely don't agree with Steve. I
I
mean,
know.
Steve is he's been wanting to take over this show for
A long time. Yeah.
6 weeks at least. You know, he put you in the asylum, and you know,
Well,
I just don't believe Steve.
Well,
Seriously, don't believe Steve. I asked him not to put you in the asylum,
But he
I
said
did.
he said he was just taking me for a little drive. That's all. We're just going for a little
Because
drive.
he's a liar. He's an absolute liar. This was a proper coup
He,
d'état.
he gave me a lollipop.
Gentlemen, in Georgia, it takes 3 signatures to get somebody committed. I don't know what Steve pulled off here.
Well, Steve wrote his name down 3 times on the form.
In the middle of a lightning storm.
Uh-huh.
Steve forged my signature bill.
He said we're going to go for a little ride in the country and get some fresh air and try.
Well, we did do that.
Yeah, get it.
You told me you lost power.
He said I got a nice new jacket for you to try on. Here we go, and he put it on me. It felt pretty nice.
Steve, I can't believe what you've done.
And you know, I don't know. I said something.
I just had his best interests at heart. I was tired of seeing him this way.
He
I
said
knew he needed help.
he said something about
He's
coup
this way
d'état.
now.
I don't know.
He's this way now. Last week when he had a power outage, he wasn't this way.
It's, you know,
Well,
like,
actually,
I'm trying to get on the show, Bill.
no, seriously, Bill, he really was. You should have heard him about an hour before the show last week. He was
I
really,
heard
he was
4
really,
seconds
really
before
going
the
down.
show, he got cut off. It was an act of God.
Yeah, it was, it really
And
was.
We had a
And then,
3-hour show.
of course, the men in white coats came to take him away.
Yeah.
And you know, it really was an act of God. And Mark, you know,
yes, Daniel. Yes, Daniel.
I
Let him come out
I
here to
empathise.
Georgia.
I don't sympathise because you've been going like this for
As
you know
long-
the last
yeah,
few months.
it's been going on for
You
a
know,
while now.
because I mean, you've had Steve to contend with, and
Yeah, the coup d'état. Yeah.
yeah,
Let me bring
exactly.
him-
Yeah.
Let me bring him as St. Bernard's down here in Georgia. I'll tie him up in my basement. You won't hear him for a couple months. If
I'm
that's
going to
what
tie
you
you
want to
in
do,
the
but
basement.
I
I
can
don't
get
want to be
him
tied up in
good-
the basement with
good
him.
therapy.
Yeah. The boys are being well seen after. That's for sure. They're doing good. Yeah, they're happy.
Well, the way I see it, by the sounds of it, Bill has a pretty big basement.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
really?
Yeah.
Do you have any pink
It's a
rooms down there?
mark.
Can we paint one pink for me? Is that, pink?
If you want pink, brother, it's pink.
Pink is just, I like pink. I really didn't know how much I liked pink until I had a room.
Dogs can run on.
Once I had my own
Well,
pink
folks,
room.
you'll have to tune in. You'll have to tune in next week to find out what happens with Mark. I know that he's got a time limit. I heard the bell ring just a minute ago, so I know that he can't be on.
I gotta
I know
go
he can't
now.
be on for very long. But
Okay.
Mark, we hope you get well, and the continuing saga of Mark Mercer will be talked about in the weeks to come.
Anyway, the show must go on.
That's
Tongue
correct.
the meds, Mark. Tongue the meds and spit them out.
Oh, Mark Mercer. Boy, oh, boy. Well, he's the one that got this show started, and I sure am glad that he did. He introduced me to all of you guys. So I'm really glad that we're together this evening. We're going to move in a different direction. We're going to talk about the circumstances in Benghazi. And Daniel is queuing up the audio even as we speak. We're going to play an audio of comments, and this is not a real long one, but it's comments from Charles Krauthammer, who is a contributor to Fox News, and he has some tremendous insights into the Benghazi situation, and then we're going to talk about it here with our panel. So, Daniel, why don't you play the audio, and we'll go from there.
I'll do it right now.
2:31 here in the East, and back now to our top story. Several Democrats on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee have now joined Republicans in sending a letter to the State Department asking what kind of intelligence we had prior to the attack that killed 4 Americans in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11 this year. It comes after the administration originally blamed that attack on a protest that got out of hand. A letter to the State Department asking what kind of intelligence we had prior to the attack that killed 4 Americans in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11 this year. It comes after the administration originally blamed that attack on a protest that got out of hand, a story questioned over the past days as Fox has learned more and more things about this attack, including just yesterday. Confirmation from 2 intelligence sources who said that our intel community knew from day one that it was a terrorist attack. Got out of hand. A story questioned over the
question about the wisdom of the Libya operation. A question is the honesty of the Obama administration. This was clearly deception on the part of the administration, sending Susan Rice to say this is a spontaneous demonstration when, as you reported, it was known inside the administration within a day that it was not. It was a terror attack. So why did they deceive? It's obvious, because the attack took place 5 days after the Democrats had spent a week in Charlotte touting, spiking the football on Osama. And essentially, since it's the only policy achievement of the 4 years, they repeated it over and over again. The great triumph over al-Qaeda. Well, that within a week, because he sacks a U.S. embassy, kills an ambassador, and the administration did not want to admit it. So it spent a week deceiving Americans into thinking it's about a demonstration, it's about a film, thinking, I think correctly, that if it strung it out long enough, the media would let it slide. Now that it becomes obvious and true, nobody will carry it to you. This is not going to be a headline in the mainstream.
I'll just point out, Ron, that
spent a week deceiving Americans into thinking it's about a demonstration, it's about a film, thinking, I think correctly, that if it strung it out long enough, the media would let it slide. Now that it becomes obvious and true.
All right, who's playing that then?
I don't know.
It's going to be a headline in the mainstream.
I'll just point out, Ron, that
Went by the wayside. And
Are we back on the air, or are we still off the air?
no, we're back on the air.
All right.
Did not know that.
But I am going to play a little bit of music while I get everybody else back.
That's right. While Daniel's getting that queued up, folks, sometimes this happens in the technology world. But if we do go off the air again, just hang tight. We will be back. Daniel, what have you got to play for us?
I've got D-Rock, The Colors We Fly.
All right.
When I look around, what do I see? Most beautiful land. I'm seeing a shining sea. Every man, woman, child can be who we want to be. Pursuing happiness and living the American dream. It's plain to see. You ain't got to ask me. You know what colors I fly. Red, white, and blue. Till the day I die. You know what colors I fly. Oh, yeah, yeah. Red, white, and blue. Till the day I die. Everywhere I go, good folks I meet. From the waitress at the diner to the kids playing down the street. To all of our servicemen, thank you for keeping us free. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Hell yeah, we're living free. It's plain to see, you ain't got to ask me. You know what colors I fly. Red, white, and blue. Till the day I die. You know what colors I fly. Oh yeah, yeah. Red, white, and blue. Till the day I die.
Steve.
Well, welcome back. That was D-Rock. And boy, I'll tell you what, we've been having a great show up until now. We're so glad that you're here listening with us. We, before we went to break, we were talking about the circumstances in Libya. And we had listened to some audio that got a little garbled there, but we're not going to replay it. We're just going to talk some about the circumstances in Benghazi. Dave, I'm going to let you start this off. What is your take on how this thing has transpired?
Well, you know, when I first heard about this stuff, and I'm kind of in and out of the paying attention to news and stuff, just because when I teach classes for the railroad, I'm just kind of out of it. And then I just got a piece of the information, and that the actual embassy or whatever it was attacked, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, the Marines, I'm sure, kicked their butt. And then I found out that the actual ambassador was killed, and I'm like, what? That does not make sense. Being a former Marine myself and knowing a lot of these guys and embassy guards and such, I'm like, no way. There's just something fishy about this whole thing. And all I had was the piece of information that it was attacked and the man died. That's all I needed to know that there was something fishy. And now that more and more has come out, it's very disturbing. And you hate to think that our government would do things out of political reasons, but I believe that it is political. They don't want to be viewed as having a terrorist attack under Obama's watch as close to the election.
Well, you know, when I first heard the comment, I mean, when I first heard the first report that the ambassador and 3 others had been killed, I'm not a diplomat. I'm not in the middle of setting or enforcing or implementing foreign policy. But the moment I heard it, and particularly on the day that it occurred on September the 11th, it was not hard for me right then to suspect that this was, in fact, a terrorist attack.
Yeah, obviously.
As the information has been more forthcoming, and it certainly has, thanks in large part to CNN finding the diary and talking about it on the air. Because I'm not sure that we would have any of that information had they not dealt with it. But to deny that this was a terrorist attack, I don't even understand the logic of that.
It's political, in my opinion, and it's solely political. But why they didn't have the guards there, I just don't understand that. There's still something more to it that I just don't understand.
My understanding is that Ambassador Stevens requested additional security, no less than 13 times. And he was continually denied that additional security. I don't understand why. And I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here. I'm not even trying to be anti-Obama, but I don't understand why, when you've got an ambassador who represents our president and our country in a foreign country that is already in turmoil, when that man who has his boots on the ground is asking for help, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 13 times, is asking for help, I don't understand why we don't give him the help. Furthermore, I don't understand why, when you're sitting there watching this attack that went over a period of 7 hours, and evidently they were watching this in the Situation Room on video in real time. They had a drone that flew over. They knew that there was trouble there. Why did they not send help?
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way. It's just dumbfounding. It's like, what are you talking about? Then you hear unconfirmed stuff about the people being told to stand down, don't react to the gunfire. It's like, what in the world is going on? Nothing. It doesn't make sense. We're missing a big piece of this, as far as I'm concerned. I try not to be a conspiracy theory guy, but something's weird going on. That's all I can tell you.
Bill, I hear you in the background, just stomping your feet and ready to speak. So the mic is yours, my friend.
Let's imagine the Keystone Cops. They're running the streets of Pennsylvania, and they're trying to put out little skirmishes here and there. You know, the lackadaisical attitude of this administration tells, well, it's lackadaisical in appearance, but what it really is, in my opinion, to go towards the conspiracy theory type venue, is that they set this up. They handcuffed our Marines and told them not to go any further. They are the ones that told our Marines not to honor their oath. Okay? Keep that in mind.
Had to be.
How does a Marine do that?
We had a
how does a
team
Marine? How does a Marine not honor his oath?
They told them, they give him an unlawful order not to move in. They give him a lawful order to get closer, but not move in.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, they had plenty of time to act and react, just like Daniel said, just like Dan said. It should have been a cut and dried scenario. We're being attacked. Our embassy's being attacked. We've got one contract worker that is guarding one ambassador. We've got 2 Navy SEALs that happen to be in the neighborhood. Just happen to be in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's right.
They put on a good fight. They put on a good fight against 200 assailants and put 20 of them in the ground.
Yeah, there's no
our
question.
Marines? They should have been inbound. They were not inbound, and that is an order from the highest of authority. If not the highest authority, then it was the highest authority that should be responsible for.
I cannot imagine a president in the Situation Room watching this.
I can imagine it if he is a sympathizer for a different agenda, a different cause.
I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Yes, I do. But he's still the president of the United States. He had to have had advisors there that were saying, Mr. President, here are your options. He had to have
anybody
people
that
from the military.
as president of the United States that has been put in place through hook and crook, through Chicago politics, or whatever you want to term it. Anybody that doesn't actually have our nation's best interest at heart would react the same way. And he would prefer to be golfing. Come on, he was golfing when Osama bin Laden was put down.
Well, the day after this happened, he went out to L.A. or Las Vegas for a campaign event. I can't imagine that. It doesn't. Listen, Dave, you and Bill served in the U.S. military. I never did. I am a patriot. I am a conservative. I am someone who believes in our Constitution. I just can't imagine any commander-in-chief sitting there and watching our soldiers and our ambassador die and not sending in, not just the Marines, but everything within that region.
Yeah, we could have shut that down.
What are we going to shut down?
No, they could have shut down the attack. They could have
shut down the attack
easily,
unless they had a bigger agenda to move against our First Amendment. And then they
what possibly could be that agenda?
The First Amendment. They put this puppet up. He's still in jail now. This puppet for a movie trailer.
We've got Rob. Is that right, Rob?
Yeah, I'm finally back from all the wonderful things I had to do. I guess you guys broke up a little while ago and called me in the middle of my pepperoni pizza. You owe me a slice.
Well, okay. Send that bill to Mark. I'm sure that he can take care of that for you from the asylum.
Okay.
Yeah, he's eating mush and peas. Don't worry.
Nice. Nice. But you were talking about an agenda. What agenda? What agenda could there possibly be for abandoning troops or abandoning people in the middle of a firefight?
Well,
I was a service member as well.
Was
so
supposedly in protest because of a movie trailer nobody saw that was making fun of Muhammad and Allah.
But wait.
What better agenda do you have than to attack the Constitution? You attack the Constitution, you attack the First Amendment.
Wait, Bill, wait.
Blame it on that.
They knew that it wasn't a protest. They knew that 2 hours in
Benghazi. They knew real time it wasn't a protest. They knew it was an attack.
Well, they knew it in Benghazi right when it was happening, but the White House knew 2 hours into the attack that it was not a protest. They knew that. That's already been debunked.
Yeah, well, you understand that. And Bill Clinton, even as we speak, is trying to get Hillary Clinton to release the tapes, release the emails to prove that she had even requested more security in Benghazi. So what other agenda than would you have other than to attack what our founding fathers set in place over 237 years ago? The First Amendment.
Wait a minute.
First Amendment.
Wait a minute, Bill. You said this about Bill Clinton. I haven't heard that. But if
Bill
that's
Clinton
true,
is urging his wife to release the emails and release the tapes.
Where have you gotten that information?
Her.
Where have you gotten that information?
The internet.
Okay. Well, she has stood there and said, that security of the embassies was under her portfolio as the Secretary of State, and
yes, sir.
and she didn't say anything at that time about I wanted to do this. Now, if that is in fact true, then who could stop her from sending additional security if she's the Secretary of State? Who could stop her?
She supposedly had requested. It's all over the internet right now, and I'm looking at it. I'm trying to look it up even as we speak. But Bill Clinton is urging his wife to exonerate.
Okay, but my question is, if the Secretary of State, who is a cabinet level official and who is responsible for the State Department, the diplomats, the ambassadors, and the security of those facilities, if she wanted to do that, Who in the government could turn her down from being able to do that?
The president.